progression of sports cars. I went through my RX-7, Dodge Stell, BMW, and then started to make a little more money, and I was able to get like a Mitsubishi Evo and Corvette, C6 Corvette. I got to a point where I could finally have a truck and a sports car. I was trying to figure out what I'd go with next.
Yeah, I like to keep it mellow. I smoke and keep it mellow. I drink and keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow. I smoke and keep it mellow. I drink and keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow.
I bought that blue car, that blue 240Z, from a guy here in Portland. A ton of the work had already been done by him. A buddy and I, who knows about cars, we went there and looked it over really well. The guy I bought the car from, self-taught rebuilder, and swapped in the SR20 and put on a Disco Potato turbo. The car itself has very few stock parts left on it. There's like nothing really stock about the car anymore. I was tempted to go with like a V8, like, you know, drop an Ellis in it or something like that. But in talking to the first guy, you know, he kind of convinced me that it'd be cool to keep it all Nissan. I think we counted one time, and it was 9 different cars that this car has parts from in it. So the motor out of a, you know, JDM Sylvia. It's got the transmission out of a 240SX. It's got the differential out of a 300ZX. Limited slip differential. It's got Willwood brakes, so that's not Nissan, but you know, don't need to go all Nissan. History of the Datsun 240Z was something I didn't know anything about when I bought it. Great story, really. A bit of a rogue guy in Nissan in Japan was the guy behind it, this guy, Mr. K. I don't really know how to pronounce his name. He had done some stuff at Nissan Japan, and I guess he had been successful with it, but not been successful with it in alignment with Japanese car culture. And so Nissan sent him over to the U.S. and tried to get rid of him, really, because back then they kind of saw the U.S. as a place where careers went to die. But Mr. K took this as a huge opportunity and came over here and realized like there was a huge need for an affordable sports car. And at the time there were Jaguars and Porsches and American muscle cars, but there wasn't an affordable car that really handled well. And so he worked up this design with some of the Nissan engineers and worked up the design of the 240, convinced those guys back in Japan to build it. And it just hit all the right notes. It was the right price, it was the right performance, it was reliable, and it was kicking ass.